Hello and welcome to our digital safety night. I am so excited to be here. My name is Chelsea Winterholler. I'm the co founder and director of production at Project Stand. And tonight we are just talking about empowering parents and students and communities to be digitally healthy. So at Project Stand, we really believe that parents, youth, and communities can learn to use tech in healthy ways. And that is why we are here tonight. Now, this is my family. We are a big basketball family. This is my dad back in the 1980s playing against John Stockton's Gonzaga team. So I'm expecting some big things from my kids and their basketball careers. On the far right, you can see my kids, the Holla Ballas, played in the Hoop Fest last year. And I don't know if we got any closer to achieving our college basketball dreams, but we had a blast. Now, this pick in the middle is what I want to talk to you about. About 10 years ago, I remember exactly where I was sitting in a gym full of parents when I felt like my entire world started crashing in on me. I was watching my kindergarten twins play in a basketball game, and all of a sudden I started looking around and I saw parents that were staring at their phones instead of watching their kids play. I saw teenagers taking selfies and I saw toddlers playing games on their iPads. And all of a sudden, I just had this realization that I was going to have three boys who were going to be bombarded with tech for their entire lives. And honestly, I was mortified. I felt unsure of how to handle my own tech use, let alone how to help them manage theirs. And so I was having lots of thoughts, and you guys might have had these thoughts too, like, we're doomed. And I have no idea how to protect them, right? I don't even know what the dangers are. And I started feeling a lot of overwhelm and anxiety as I was sitting there in those bleachers. And after I coached myself down a little bit and just tried to be present at my kids' game, I realized one powerful thing: I was not alone. As I opened my eyes a bit more, I saw parents who were engaged with their kids in front of them. And I saw mothers who were overwhelmed with toddlers. And I saw teens laughing and communicating with each other. Guys, in truth, I saw a lot of parents who were probably thinking and feeling the exact same way that I was. Some were scared of tech dangers, and others were just simply not aware of how to harness the power that tech has to educate and to connect us. But I knew in that moment, I knew that I wasn't alone. And if there's one thing that I believe, it is that we are here to lift each other up. So let's do it. Let's lift and learn together, because I promise that person sitting next to you, they are probably having very similar struggles that you are having in their home right now. What I'm offering tonight, you guys, is just an appetizer. I can't answer every question, nor do I have all the answers, but I'm going to share lots of tips and resources with you. You're welcome to take photos of anything that you find helpful, and you're welcome to email me if you have questions or you need one on one help. Please reach out. Now, I believe that you are the best resource for your child. I need you to trust yourself. I need you to trust your instincts, and I need you to trust your intuition. Now, if you're anything like me, you have thought those thoughts that I talked about. I don't know how to protect my kids. They'll never listen to me anyway. There's too much to learn. But if we are thinking these things, we begin to feel defeated. And a parent who feels defeated is not effective. However, if a parent who believes is extremely effective. I believe that belief fuels anything. So I actually want you to look at these options up on the board. I want you to choose one of these beliefs as we go into our conversation tonight. I am going to show up for my kids. I am a parent that my child needs. I can learn and grow along with my child. We can learn to use tech responsibly. We can figure this out together. I want you to choose one. You can shift it to make it fit you. But this belief, you guys, it can help you examine your goals for your family. It can help you make decisions. And do you want to know the best thing? A parent who believes, a parent who starts operating from beliefs that they have deep in their core, your kid starts believing too. And I really believe that belief fuels everything. You can be a proactive parent rather than a reactive one. We're going to learn together so we can lift our homes and our children and our communities, okay? So, I believe that tech is awesome. We have a few main reasons that we as human uses technology. Tech can connect us, right? It can help us do talk to grandma over FaceTime. Tech can educate us. It can help us learn code so that we can make amazing robots and other inventions. Tech can even entertain us, right? In our family, we love to play Mario Kart together. We love to watch movies together on Friday nights. There are a lot of different ways to use tech. There are also tech that can harm, and I want to talk to you about a few of those things. We have excessive screen time, social media. We have algorithms that are working against us and against our children. We have exposure to pornography and predators, cyberbullying, and AI. There's a lot of things that are stacking against us in the tech world. But I want you to know that that's why we're here. We are here to be parents that believe in our ability and our kids' ability to be resilient when it comes to tech. And guess what? It starts with you. It starts with you being here tonight. You guys, across so many studies, we have found out that effective digital parenting is not just about restricting technology, but it's actually about these three things: guidance, open dialogue, and modeling healthy habits. When we find this balance, when parents can recognize that there is risks and there are benefits to tech, that is what creates the best outcomes for children. So let's dive in. Let's talk about guidance. How do we guide our kids? First and foremost, I want you to know that facts fuel decisions. So I want you to analyze what is actually going on in my home. So often when clients come to me, they say, my kids, they're spending 10 hours a week on games. And the first thing that I ask them is that true? Does your child actually spend 15 hours a week on gaming? Or do they spend more like 5 hours a week on gaming? Why is this even important? It is important because facts fuel decisions. If our kids are spending 15 to 20 hours a week gaming, we know that we want to change that. We want to make decisions that can help us change that. If it's on the lower end, maybe we want to make different decisions. You have to have the facts before you can make the decisions. And our brain is a mastermind. Our brain loves to trick us to believe things that actually aren't true. Another thing I always have people say to me is, no one cares about the rules but me. Is that true? What are the facts here? Sometimes does your spouse help implement some of the rules? Sometimes do your kids follow direction that you've decided on in your family? Saying that no one cares but you might not be true. And if you operate from that falsehood, you are going to create a much different environment in your home. Now, another fact that helps fuel our decisions is what's going on in the world. I want you to think, what is my biggest concern about tech? Because there are facts out there that can help you decide what decisions you want to make going forward. So maybe your biggest concern about tech is social media or cyberbullying or pornography. I want to share some stats with you. You guys, 87% of children, 87% exceed the recommended daily screen time limit set by our country. Social media increases the risks of bullying, sexual experimentation, leads to privacy issues and sexting, internet addiction, sleep deprivation, anxiety, and depression. When it comes to cyberbullying, one third of middle and high school students have been cyberbullied, and only 40% of them tell their parents. Pornography exposure is related to lower self esteem, poor body images, sleep disturbance, anxiety, depression, and compulsive sexual behavior. And over 7,000 reports of AI related child exploitation was submitted to the cyber tip line in the last 2 years, with numbers rising. It is so important to know what you are concerned about so that you can make decisions that will help impact your family. Now, I believe in delaying screen use. If you have younger kids who do not have a phone yet, I believe that delaying is the way. You guys, there's no long term risk to not exposing your children to interactive media. Do you know this? So I always believe in delaying. And if you're not sure when's the right time with your family, I love this resource on betterscreentime.com. You can actually go out and print out a printable where you can answer some questions and your child can answer some questions to decide if you are ready for a personal device. Now, delaying access is always the safest option, but there comes a time where it really isn't the option we choose. Our kids, they get to an age and stage where they actually have a phone in their hands, and we can't protect them from everything, but we can implement some protective factors. So, if you're in that transition right now, I want you to know that there are safe phone options available to you. These phones, I like to call them dumb phones. They have no social media. They don't allow any picture or video messaging between them, and most of them you can track your child if that's something that you're interested in. Now, all phones have built in filters, and after this, we're going to have people who can actually help you turn those filters on your phones if you have already taken the plunge to a full working smartphone. Now, filters. We all know that our kids are so smart and they can get around most anything that they want to. But that doesn't mean that we don't try. Now, this is also why we build internal filters. I will be talking about how to build an internal filter on your child in the breakout session right after this. So hang around if that interests you. But these filters are all great options. Go ahead and take a picture of them. Look into them, see what will work for your family. I do want you to know that our district is awesome and it provides that second one, Custido, for every family. It's already, you should be getting emails from the school every day about what's going on your kids' Chromebooks. And you can also put this filter on your home to protect devices there. And the other breakout this afternoon will be going over Custido and how to make that work for your family. Now, if you do not hear anything else I say tonight, I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. I cannot emphasize this enough. Put the phone to bed at night. I can share story after story with you of kids who are alone in their bedrooms with technology at night. Stories of depression, of self harm, of repeated exploitation, and even suicide. I know that you think the safest place for your kids to be is in your home, and I believe that too. But the moment you allow their phone or technology to go into their bedroom, you have allowed the entire world to go in there with them. All of those risk factors we've talked about skyrocket when there is tech in the bedroom. Please, 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 if this is the only thing that sticks tonight, don't allow tech in the bedroom at night. Now, let's talk about open dialogue. So many of us struggle here, and I get it. Sometimes it feels awkward to talk about tech, but you guys, open communication about tech leads to reduced digital risks. Cyberbullying, exposure to pornography, increased sexual experimentation, privacy issues, sexting, sleep deprivation, anxiety, depression. I know these are big words and I know I have said them a lot, but we want to reduce these risks for our children, and we can do it through talking. I know that you think you talk to your kids, but in a recent study with over 10,000 participants, we found a huge gap in parental concern and our actual behavior. 86% of parents are concerned about their child's online safety, which is great. But the average time talking per year to their children, 7.5 minutes. We have to talk to our kids more than 7.5 minutes about tech. You guys, you can talk to them anywhere. You can talk to them anytime. I still remember sitting on my bedroom floor, piles of laundry surrounding me when my 3 teenage boys ran in from school. When I saw them, I immediately felt this pull to tell them about something I had learned that day. And this was it. 90% of child sexual abuse websites that were shut down in 2024 included self-generated child sexual abuse material. 90%. Do you guys, what this means is that children were taking pictures of themselves, sharing it with friends, posting it online, sending it in private messages to strangers. Our kids have to know that they are more valuable than a photo. And how will they know if you don't tell them? Even when they are surrounded by laundry. There is never a bad time to talk about tech. Use the billboards, use the commercials, use the texts that are being sent. Talk to your kids. Talk to them more than 7.5 minutes per year. Bug them with how much you talk about it. Now, last but not least, how do we model healthy tech use to our kids? I know that we all think we're doing it, but I even stink at this, and I'm the one up here on the stage talking to you. So many times I catch myself staring at my phone instead of staring at my kids. I want us to be parents who use our tech intentionally. If you walk around with earbuds in your ears 24/7, your kids are going to do that too. If you talk to your kids while your face is in your phone, your kids are going to do that too. If you allow screen time to impact your mood, guess what? That is only going to be amplified in your kid's underdeveloped brain. If you spend all your time arguing with people online, your kids are going to do that too. You guys, you have the opportunity to teach your kids to be present, to value real people over screens. You have the opportunity to help them choose intentionally why they're getting on a screen. Is it to educate, to connect, to be entertained, or to do harm? You have the opportunity to respect others' dignity by not sharing uncomfortable or objectifying images. You have the opportunity to teach your kids to be kind with their online tech use. We are here to learn. We are guiding. We are communicating, having open dialogue, and we are modeling behavior simply by making educated decisions about your family's tech use, by talking and talking and talking even more about tech to reduce digital risks for your child, and by modeling the values around tech that you want to see reflected in your kids. I know that you can do this. I believe in you. But most importantly, you believe in yourself. You guys, belief fuels everything. Go back to this belief again and again and again. I know that you can do this. I want to share a couple resources with you. We have our parent resources that you can go, you can find podcasts, you can find our tip of the week emails, you can find a link to my coaching. You can also find printables. A lot of the things that I've talked about tonight are on this parent resource page. You can also go to our feedback form where you can let the tech committee know what you want to see in the future. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for putting yourself and your families first. I am so excited to see our community just rise and lift each other as we use tech responsibly. Thanks, guys. Hello, hello. I am so glad to do this second part of our presentation. We already talked about how parents can empower their youth to be digitally healthy. And now we are really going to dive in to what you can do to help your kids build an internal filter. I love talking about this. You already know how to be a tech parent, right? You're going to guide, you're going to talk to your kids, and you're going to model the right behavior. But most of you are here wishing that I could give you a quick fix to tech and surrounding all of the issues that are surrounding our kids. But I just don't have that for you. I have lots of tips for you, and I do believe that we have an amazing community ready to help your kid. But the most important thing that I have for you is that I believe in your kid. I really, really believe that kids are amazing and intuitive and intelligent, and that their potential is really limitless. We have seen that tonight in the video that we viewed and other things throughout the night. But kids are often all alone with tech, and they need to be supported in their use of technology through building an internal filter. So, what is that? We already talked about physical filters that you can turn on devices, but what about creating something deep in your child's core that can help them kind of have a red flag go up whenever they hear or see something inappropriate or something that crosses their own personal boundary? Wouldn't that be amazing? Just like I had 3 steps for parents, I also have 3 steps for kids to build an internal filter as well. Number one, I bet you could guess it, belief. We have to believe in our kids. I believe that your kid has the capability to learn how to use tech in a healthy way, period. And I'm going to help you believe that too. Number two, we're going to teach them how to decide what they want. And number three, we are going to unite together. We're going to work together in making rules. So let's start with belief. You guys, every time a kid uses a screen deliberately or chooses not to use a screen, they actually are strengthening their prefrontal cortex. I love that. Our kids' brains are constantly shifting and changing, and we have the opportunity to help them make deliberate choices. And they can do it. All we have to do is believe in them. Not too long ago, I read a study that was based in inner city Philadelphia, and researchers found that encouraging a child with belief in their ability to overcome adversity, did so many things for them. It improved school performance, lowered behavioral problems, increased overall safety, and increased resilience over time. We can help our kids build resilience simply by believing in them. Isn't that crazy? Just believing in their goodness, believing in their amazing capability to make good choices. I need you to believe in your kids. Let's talk about decisions. I think this is where a lot of us are like, but how do I control? How do I control what decisions my kids are making when they are not within my reach? And my favorite way is to build an internal filter. I love to hammer one of these into my children's brain. Now, before your kids see something like pornography, before your child is cyberbullied, before they are exploited on with a private message from a stranger, we teach our kids what to do. Now, on the left side, I have tic-tac-toe. This is what I turn to for younger kids, elementary age kids. If you see something that makes you uncomfortable or makes you feel scared on a device, what do? We tic-tac-toe, we turn it off, we talk to a trusted adult, and we turn to something active. You guys, I have taught my kids this since they were 2 years old, since they were those little kids playing on the basketball court when I was feeling so much fear. When your child sees something online, they need to know what to do. They need to know who to turn to. So turn it off, talk to a trusted adult, and turn to something active is perfect. My kids still use this today, and they are teenagers. So if you have younger kiddos, I want you to hammer this into their brain: tic tac toe. And I know it sounds simple, but that's because it is, you guys. This is not an if your kids are exposed to something, it is a when they will be exposed to us to something. We want them to come to us. Now, tic tac toe does the trick until middle school. And then we need to dig a little bit deeper. We need to help our kids find out who they really are. And that's when we introduce just a sec. We help our kids stop, evaluate, and choose what they want to do online. We're going to dig into this a little bit. You guys, who they want to be in their life and online is so, so important. So I love to encourage people to teach their kids about personal values, okay? Writing about personal values. Look at these words. Kids are more powerful, in control, proud, and strong. It makes them feel loving and connected and empathetic. Writing about your values increases pain tolerance, enhances self control, and reduces unhelpful ruminations. And in the long term, writing about values helps boost GPAs, reduce doctor visits, improves mental health, and helps people persevere. You guys, this is crazy. There are so many positive things that can happen from writing about personal values. I want you to do this with your kids. Now, if you don't even know what I'm talking about, don't worry, I have you covered. We have created a healthy technology pathway for kids. It's a simple process that can help your kids really decide who they want to show up as, not just online, but in the world as well. Now, I'm going to go through this rather quickly, but I'm going to go through all of the steps so you can see what they look like. And you can access this online through that QR code. You can find all of these resources are printable there on our website. So number one, we're going to ask our kids, what do they love about technology? And what is something that they might want to change about how they use it? Number two, we're going to talk about our values. I have a whole worksheet for you, but what it does is helps kids realize what their core values are that they want to live by, especially when they go online. A value might be something like kindness or integrity, courage or respect or gratitude, okay? Your kids are old enough. This middle school, high school age is absolutely old enough to decide to choose a value and decide how they are going to live up to it online, okay? Number three, we're going to make goals. I love goals. I can hear my kiddo down here in the second row groaning a little bit about goals. But we need to make goals, especially in our online use. So, what specific measurable thing will I do this week to help my tech choices line up with my values? What can I do? Okay. The second part of this is my favorite. Where will I write them down and display my goal? We love sticky notes in our house. We write our goals on sticky notes and put them on our junk table, like our wall behind our junk table. We put them on our bathroom mirrors. You have to see your goals often so that you can remain focused. And see, we have to share our goals with someone. We have to know who we're going to report back to. So I want you to challenge your kids. They might choose a friend, they might choose you, but challenge them to have someone to report back to. After we have chosen our values and made our goals, this is where we get to dig into choices. This is where we get to pause before we click or swipe or post. We are going to pause just a sec. Okay, we're going to stop, evaluate, and choose. We're going to stop. We're going to take a deep breath. We're going to be present in our bodies. Second, we're going to evaluate. Does what I'm about to do match who I really am? Does it match those values? And third, we're going to choose. Are we going to continue? Or are we going to make a different choice that matches who we are? This is obviously my very favorite section. It is so important for our kids to know that they have this ability to stop, evaluate, and choose, to take just a second to do these three things. And last but not least, we're going to reflect. How did those values work for me? Did the goals I made, was I able to implement them? What worked? What didn't work? And we're going to report back to that person. And of course, repeat. Do it all over again. I know that this healthy tech path can help us make decisions that can fuel your children's futures. Now, last but not least, we need to unite with our kids, you guys. If your child, and when, could say when your child goes through this, if your child views objectifying images, okay, or is the victim of cyberbullying, or if your child takes a photo of themselves and shares it online, or if your child starts receiving messages from a stranger, I want you to ask yourself, how will I react? This is so, so important. I was talking to my brother this weekend, and we actually talked for a minute about how when big things happen, like these that I have up on the board right now, when these things happen, we're actually very calm and loving to our children. However, when they leave socks on the floor, don't hang up their backpack, or punch their brother, we totally freak out. We need to be the solid parents who are there for our children. When something like this happens, they need to know we're not going to freak out. They need to know that when they are faced with a challenge, they need to know that they can turn to you as a trusted adult. They need to know that they will come to someone to listen, to love them, maybe even give them an 8-second hug. If you haven't heard the stats about 8-second hugs, you are supposed to get and give 8-second hugs per day. It increases oxytocin in your brain, and oxytocin makes us happy. So I want you to be the parent that listens and loves and gives 8-second hugs. I want you to remember that you and your child are on the same team. When they're exposed to these things, listen to them. Make a plan going forward together. We have a couple plans on our website, things that can help you start thinking and help your children start thinking about how you want to move forward with your tech use in your family. I encourage you to go to our website and download these and really figure out what your family wants tech to look like. How long do you want to be on tech? When and where will we use tech? Who do we interact with tech with online? Okay, these questions are so, so important. I want you to use tech together. I want you to foster connection with your kids in simple ways. I want you to play those Nintendo games with them. I want you to comment on their characters' silly outfits. I want you to sit down and show interest about the slides that they're making for their project. You guys get familiar with what your kids are doing on tech. That will make it one step easier, one step closer to breaking down those walls that you are feeling in your home. You guys, we have so many resources available to you on the website. A lot of them that I talked about today are here. We have tip of the week that we can email to you. We have a podcast. I do one-on-one coaching for parents who are facing these tech issues in their home. You can scan this QR code and get directed straight to where you can find these healthy tech resources. I want you to know that I believe in you, and I believe in your kids. Please, please reach out to me with any questions that you have at all. I would love to help you continue to create this healthy tech mindset in your home. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here.